everybody. Hello in Facebook land. It's time for Live with the Barb. Barbstamps.com. That's my blog in case you ever want to check it out. Even though I've been a little lax at posting lately. But I try. So, how is everyone today? I hope you're all doing wonderfully fabulous. I'm going to do the thing. Well, first of all, I have to get to the live. Sometimes the streaming takes a little while to get there. I'm going to, whoops, nobody wants to hear me twice. Okay, so we've got some comments here. We're looking good. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh, this has been a day. Good afternoon, Donna. How are you? And let's see, Cheryl and Chris and Amy and Louise and Laura. Laura, you got on. Yay! I'm so excited. Laura is one of my team members, and I'm so very excited to see her on here tonight. So yay! Welcome, Laura. Welcome, everyone. So obviously, it's 5 o'clock Mountain Time, 4 o'clock Pacific, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. And it's time for me to go live and to show you guys what not to do when you're stamping, because that seems to be what happens every single time I'm live. I make some kind of silly mistake, and then I show you how to fix it so that you don't have to do the same thing that I do and make the mistake. So there you go. All right. I am so excited, Laura. Kathy is also here. Kathy is also on my team. We are all, not all of us, a number of us from my team are getting very excited because the Stampin' Up! Event called On Stage at Home happens next week. And a bunch of us have registered, and we are just looking forward to having a fabulous time. So let's see. What else do we have going on? My daughter's on her way home, so that is very exciting. She is about 3-4 hours from here. I need to grab a pen. And she's on her way home, and so is she. I told her I'd make her whatever she wants for dinner, and she says, I don't really care what you make as long as it's not French toast. And I'm like, why wouldn't you want French toast? But whatever. So I won't make French toast. I think I'm going to make tacos because I didn't really know she was coming home until, well, about 2 o'clock. So that didn't give me a whole lot of time to prepare because I'm still preparing for Facebook Live at 2 o'clock. And then I did a little virtual thing with my friend Dina. And yeah, so it's been a great day. So I'm excited to have her come home. I'm excited to see her. So yay. And then another funny thing happened today. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Snapchat, if you use Snapchat. Well, my kids use Snapchat, and so I can kind of keep track of where they are using the Snapchat map. So I happened to look on there today, and I saw my son somewhere that he shouldn't be on a normal school day. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm at lunch. And I'm thinking, you're at lunch? What the heck do you mean you're at lunch? So I didn't think anything of it. Well, then about an hour and a half later, I happened to look again, and he's like, somewhere near a park here in town. I'm like, what are you doing? And he comes downstairs and he's like, what do you mean? What am I doing? And I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, we got out of school early today because it's parent teacher conferences. Yeah, that'd be a big parent fail for me because I forgot. And they're tonight. And so there you go. But I wasn't really planning on going because, of course, it'll be at the high school and we'll be social distancing. We'll be wearing masks, and he's doing fine in school. So I don't really feel like it's necessary for me to go there. So I'm not going to. So anyways, he's home. Well, of course he had to work tonight. So he's at work now, but then he'll be home tomorrow too. So it's a good thing that I know this now, because I would have went in his room and tried to wake him up, and he would have not been very happy with me if I would have tried to wake him up at 7:30 when he didn't have to get up. So there you go. All right. Who else is here? We have Donna and Lisa and Mary Ellen. Hello, Mary Ellen, and Carol and Louise and Sonia. Oh, and you guys are sharing my video. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. It really, really helps me a lot for you to share the video. Also, to like and comment also helps me out a lot. So the little hearts and the thumbs up is very helpful too. So yay. All right, so we are going to get started. We'll see, we have Debbie and Mary and everyone is here, and I'm so excited to see you all. So yay. My son's finger, I think we talked last week about how he smashed it and it had exploded. Yeah. It looks so much better. I'm thinking he's probably going to lose some skin, just because I think the top layer of your skin is prone to dying and falling off. I think I'll say that. I'm not a nurse, so if I'm saying that wrong, please forgive me. I don't know anything about medicine. But I feel like it's going to fall off because it's kind of hard in that spot. Anyway, so I think that eventually it will fall off. Ugh, gross. But anyway, it looks so much better. And so yeah, so thanks you guys for your concerns and cares last week. That was very nice. Yeah, he's good. So I'm sure he's not too excited that my daughter's coming home. You know, siblings. He would probably he would probably say to me if I said, "Oh, your sister's coming home," who cares? That'd be the answer I would get from a 16-year-old kid. So there you go. All right, I have a winner from last week's sharing, commenting, and that could be YouTube or Facebook. So keep that in mind too. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please share, please comment, please give my video a thumbs up. That always makes me super happy and it helps me out a lot. So I've got a winner of Jane Palmer. Jane, you are going to win some of our 12 Tidings Glimmer Dots. I was lucky enough to get a bunch of these when they were on the clearance rack here. I don't even remember when. So I do have a lot of these to give away over the course of, you know, between now and Christmas, I guess. And yeah, so Jane, please message me with your address and I will get these in the mail to you. So yeah. And Teresa, I think Teresa's on here because she always is. And I talked last week about how I was terribly sorry that I didn't get your prize out in a timely manner. It came back to me from the post office claiming that I needed to add more postage. Now, mind you, it was included in a bundle of cards that I had sent out. Your card or your pack had 2 stamps on it, 2 regular stamps. The other cards had a regular stamp and an additional ounce stamp. Well, they had grouped them all together with a rubber band and said you need to put 13 more cents on all of these letters. And I'm just like, why? I weighed them all before I put the postage on them and none of them weigh that much. So I got your card and your prize back, Teresa, and it went out again yesterday. So you will get it. Who knows when? And I apologize again. And the post office is on my list right now. So yeah, the post office is super annoying. Okay, unless you work for the post office, then I'm sorry to dog your employer, but I really have a lot of issues with the post office, with their inconsistencies of things. Because that same day, I actually mailed out 13 cards that were exactly the same. They weighed the same. They were the same, in the same envelope with the same everything. And I got 5 of them back saying they needed extra postage. So 5 of the 13 that were exactly the same needed extra postage. Make that make sense. You can't. So there you go, post office. The consistency is what drives me crazy. Or the inconsistency, I should say, is what drives me crazy. So anyways, yeah. Okay, so we are going to flip the camera because I kind of want to hurry up and get done tonight because my daughter should be here soon and I have to make some food for her. Normally, I don't really make food on Thursdays. I tell my husband and my son, and for yourselves, I'm working. But since she's coming home, I will make some food. And of course, my husband will go, oh, what, is she so special? Yeah, she kind of is. So there you go. So we're going to flip the camera. I'm going to show you some stuff and then we're going to talk about other stuff. Okay, so there we go. I got to get my little level here because I hate unlevel stuff. Oh yeah, that is way off. Okay, there we go. This is what I use in case anybody's wondering. It's I got it in it was like a picture hanging kit or something like that, and I have had it forever. And so anyways, yeah, I can't tell just by looking at my camera if it's a little bit wonky, like, you know, this way or this way. And so if I put that level on there, it tells me if I'm level. And because I'm a little bit anal, that kind of thing bothers me. So there you go. All right, so let's do a little recap of last week. This was a card that I made for a swap. And then last week I decided to go bold or go home. And here we are. We made a pink birthday card using that. So there you go. Oh, Carla, you are exactly right. Sure. You know, it makes the household even. Yeah, Carol, it absolutely does when she's back. Otherwise, it's 2 guys and me. And I kind of talk and yell a little louder than them. So there you go. So anyways, here is the card we made last week. So we did it with the pink. And then here's my Happy Thanksgiving card. I went for the crumb cake, you guys. We were having a discussion last week whether I should go with crumb cake or vanilla. I opted for the crumb cake. I hope that doesn't offend anyone. If you liked the vanilla, I'm sorry, but I like the crumb cake better. And then this was my take on the paper pumpkin kit because there are foreign words in other languages. Foreign sounds kind of mean and nasty. And that's not how I mean it at all. But there are words in this month's paper pumpkin kit in German and I believe French. And so I took the 2 German words and turned it into the word friend. So there you go. Because I don't speak German. I don't know anybody who speaks German. And so that's a way that I'm going to be able to use my whole kit. So there you go. So those were the cards we did last week. So I'm going to put those aside. And we will talk about specials. Of course, all of you guys know that our designer series paper is on sale this month. We have 15 packages of it that's on sale. And it's not the specialty papers that are, it's the other ones that are on sale. So we've got 15 of those. Here's what they look like. I'm sure some of you already know this. If you want to order some, I would love to have you order them in my online store right there, shoppingwithbarb.com. And then here is my host code for the month. And so, yeah, I'm just going to tape this up here because I don't know if it's going to stay or if I'm going to bump it out of the way. So there you go. Designer series paper on sale through the 31st. Okay. So let's see. We have Elaine here. Hello, Elaine from Wisconsin. We have, I think it's Jean. Hello, Jean, and Linda and Ingrid and Marty and Carol and Carla and Debbie and everyone else. Hello and welcome. My Create Where You Go October Kit to Go is going out. I am getting them. I've got a few extra cardstock kits that are ready to go if you're interested. So just let me know about that. I may have to order the plush Poinsettia designer series paper to fulfill the kits. But anyways, it's an amazing kit. It's got 4 cards, 2 of each is what you'll make. And you're going to get designer series paper, the plush Poinsettia paper, the gold foil paper, 2 half rolls of 2 different ribbons that we sell, and then the little beaded pearl. All right, my Snowflake Wishes online class went live last week, so I did email everyone who purchased it. You can still purchase it. The class by itself is only $20, so it's amazing, and there are 9 different cards in there. These are some sneak peeks of what they are. Each card has instructions and a video, which I don't believe everybody who sells online classes gives you videos. And so videos are very helpful when you're trying to figure out doing fun folds and things like that. So my online classes always have videos. $20 for the class, $45 for the class plus gems and ribbon. Or if you purchase the special bundle of products for $120, you get it all for everything else for free, the class and the cardstock kit. For those of you that are new to my Facebook Live this week, please know that my 2020 12 weeks of holiday projects, we are coming up on week number 4, people. It'll be our first Christmas idea going out on Sunday. If you're just joining me and you want to subscribe to my newsletter, the link is in the description of this video. And I do have all the previous week's links in each email. So if you just sign up today, you can still get the other newsletters because they're always listed in there. So even if you sign up late, you didn't sign up at the beginning, you still have access to all that stuff. And it's only for my newsletter subscribers, but I do post them on my team page. That reminds me, I didn't post the one from Sunday. So girls, I will get that in there. And I do post them in my team page so that my team members can find them super quickly. Okay. The Curvy Celebrations bundle is going on sale November 3rd, and I'm actually going to make a card for you today. I don't normally show you guys things that you can't purchase today, but since I won't see you before it goes live, we're going to do a little card using this bundle of products, which is amazing. Totally Techniques Online Club. I'm getting ready to shoot my video tomorrow for all of you girls. I think I saw Lisa on here watching. So hi, Lisa. Lisa's in my club, and I will be shooting the video and getting all the projects made this weekend. Everything should go out on Monday. Now, people tell me I talk fast, and yeah, I absolutely do. And I do apologize if you are not a fan of fast talkers. I can't help myself. I've always been a fast talker. And now that I've thought about it, I will try to slow down. So there you go. Totally Techniques Online Club. If you purchase $30 in merchandise from me and let me know that you want to be in the club using my monthly host code, then I will create the technique cards for you every month. In fact, I'll grab them and show them to you. I create a video. I send a link to your email so you can keep them in order, and then you get the cards in the mail every month. Once you have consecutively spent $30 or more dollars with me in 6 consecutive months, and I give to you with a $30 gift certificate. So keep that in mind, and then you can re-up and come back. And so Lisa says that she loves Totally Techniques, so thanks, Lisa. So this was our September. It was triple time stamping, so all the girls got a greeting card made with the technique, the technique card that tells you how to make it, and then a sample of the technique on the card somewhere. So here was our embedded embossing, inlaid embossing. And so here was the technique card telling you how to make it. This was the card they received. This was what? Watercolor wash. using Artistry Blooms. There was the instruction card. And then we also have the baby swipe. And this was the card. And then of course, here's the technique. So anyways, it's an amazing class. I love doing it. I love doing techniques. I used to actually do technique classes in my home. And I probably have amassed over, well, here, I'll show you. This is all the techniques that I did when I used to have a class in my home. That is a lot of techniques. This is copy paper. Look how thick. That's about an inch thick of copy paper. So I got a lot of techniques to share. All right. So there you go with that. Ooh. I digress because I just saw this sitting on top of my cabinet here. Look at these Sugar Cookie Hershey's Kisses. Now, these are delicious, I might add. And look at the super cute wrappers that come around these things. Oh my word. They're like white chocolate with tiny bits of like crunchy cookie. Oh my gosh. So delicious. Anyways, I found them at my local Albertsons store if you're interested. Okay, Arrange a Wreath online class. I have 3 pre-cut cardstock kits left for this class. So if you want to purchase that from me, the link is in the description. I think if it's not, let me know, send me an email, and I will send it to you. $40 for the cardstock kit and the class. Gilded Autumn, I have 1 of these left. So there you go. All right, let's get to some stamping before my daughter gets here. Okay, guys, we are going to start out with the Curvy goods. So the Quite Curvy Curvy Celebrations is a stamp set and a die set sold as a bundle only. Okay, and they start November 3rd. Gosh, all of a sudden I forgot what I was doing. November 3rd. This is a bundle that you can purchase. Okay, you can also purchase only available during the promotion period, which ends January 4th or 3rd. I can't remember. You can purchase this Designer Series paper package, and if I can find it, I can't. There's another stamp set called, oh, I just spotted it. Curvy Christmas. Here we go. Okay, so we have Quite Curvy, Curvy Christmas, the Curvy Dies, and then I can't remember what this is called either, but it's a paper pack that's got some Christmas patterns plus some non-Christmas patterns. So then we have the kind of Christmassy patterns on this side, and the colors are Cherry Cobbler, Shaded Spruce, and Sahara Sand. So I love me a nice neutral, and Sahara Sand is one that I don't use very often, but it is pretty, and I do like it, and I do need to use it more. So we're going to use Sahara Sand today on our project. The dies are fun. I'm not going to show you too much about them today because I'll be doing some stuff with them next week, but the dies are really cool, and obviously they make a curvy line, which is amazing. I do have a few cards I can show you. So I did do some swap cards, like this one here is from my friend Julie. So that uses this curvy die here, so that is really pretty. Look at that really fun edge on there. Really, really pretty. What else do we have? This is one that I made. So it's got the leaf images. You can see the leaves here. I cut the leaves out. I cut 2 of these out, and then I cut a bow from the Christmas set, and I layered them all together, added some gems, added a sentiment, and so this is a card that I made. Really pretty. Here's one using the fun Dottie. This is my favorite. Of course, I think it's going to be everyone's favorite because you can use it for literally everything, and it's just so fun. And then we have, of course, this cute little sprig, and then we have these cute little birds that are also in the set. Here's one that I got where this was die cut, and then you just pull those apart, and then you can see the Designer Series paper and a sentiment there, so that's really fun. What else do we have that I'd want to share with you guys? I think that's it for today. Teasing you. So that's going to be available next week on November 3rd. And I will have an online class that I will be using this stuff. That'll be my online class for November. So it's going to be amazing. So I highly recommend. I'm going to put some links for this up very shortly. It's going to be amazing. And again, all of the classes or all of the projects in the class are going to have videos. So keep that in mind when you're looking at online classes. I offer videos. Okay. So let's get the things that we need to make the card. So we're going to start, of course, with some Sahara Sand cardstock. And then I have 2 pieces of cardstock. And then I have some little bits that I already ran through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine that I will bring in momentarily. But I do need to pick out a piece of Designer Series paper. And so I have not decided if I want to use the dots, the stripes. I don't want to use, that's Christmas, and this is not a Christmas card. So I could use the stars, but I'm not gonna. How do you like that? I could, but I'm not gonna. Or I could use that, which is the fun pattern. I like that. What else can we choose here? That is a little bit not Sahara Sandy enough. It's more white than I would like it. What's on the back side of that? Oh, the Christmas trees. Okay, so I've got 3 options here, at least in my own mind. I've got 3 options here. And they are, I have no idea what to call this, but it's very pretty. Stripes and polka dots. I am a huge fan of polka dots a lot, and so I may just go with the dots. I'm going to see if this piece will fit on my card base. I don't know what size it is, so oh yeah, it will fit. We're going to go polka dots. I've made an executive decision. There you go. Okay, now I can't remember if this trimmer is 6" or not. Ooh, look at that. It is. So I need this to be, oh, actually, no, it's not going to work. I need my bigger trimmer. So I need to cut this to the exact same size as my card. So I'm going to make my whole card front is going to be this pattern. So I'm cutting it at 5.5 by 4 1/4. There we go. Get this out of here. So we're going to end up attaching this to the front of the card. We're not going to have any border. It's just going to be all fun polka dots. Oh, somebody's asking a question. Any news on when the mini machine? Not yet, Mary Ellen. We're hoping by the end of the year, but we don't know yet. They have not told us. So I will absolutely let you guys know as soon as I know. Okay, so then I have 2 pieces of cardstock here. What do they measure? Who knows? The white is 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. My pear pizzazz is 3.5. I think it's by 4 3/4. Yep, 4 3/4. Okay, so then I had a piece of Coastal Cabana, and I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with this little dotty friend here who's really cute. So I just had the piece here, and it's not super important how big the piece is. I mean, you want it to be a little, you want it to be bigger than 2 inches because my bump here is 2 inches anyway. So then I just laid this on my paper, ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and this is what I get. And actually, it's like this because I'm getting rid of that piece. Although I could use that because it does make a really nice, like a hill of some sort, okay? Or you can do it like this, and you can have something in the center here, like you could put your sentiment in between the 2 pieces, but I'm not using this right now. Did I have to poke the holes, Evelyn? Absolutely not. With our new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I literally do this, and they fall out. And I honestly could not believe it. And I've told the story before, but I'm going to say it again. I had a team meeting here a couple months ago, shortly after we could buy the machine, because I bought it right away when we could. And I had a team meeting, and one of my gals was here, and she was asking me about it. And she was like, oh, what do you think of it? And I was like, you know, I really like it. It cuts really nicely. And so I cut a very intricate die that I have that's one of those kind of plaid, big plaid things. And we pulled it out of the machine, and the bits were just falling out of it. And so I started flicking. Most of them came out. There were very few that got hung up in there, and I literally only had to just poke them with my pokey tool at the end of my take your pick, and they fell out. So this new machine, I had a Big Shot before that, and I literally had to roll things forwards, backwards. I had to move them around on the plates just to get it to cut. This thing, 1 pass. It's a miracle. And I love it, and I can't rave about it enough. And if you don't have it, you should buy it because it's amazing. Okay, so I am going to add this piece to my layer of white. Now, it's way too big. It doesn't matter. We're going to just trim it down. So I wanted to make sure that it was long enough that I could position it on here where I want it, and then I can cut it off. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it here first of where I would like it to be. So I'm eyeballing it to be about like that. So I'm going to cut off some of this right off the bat here. I know, my cutting skills are pretty awful. I agree. Okay, like that. So now I can just put the glue on the whole thing. And then it should just fit right on there. And then I'll have to trim off some of the excess again. I must have a glue booger plugging that up because that's not working that good. And then I'll just trim off my crappy cutting here in a minute. Okay, so we're going to do that. There we go, right to the edge. And then we can just finish cutting everything off. So I do find that with these dies, you need to cut your paper a little larger than you actually need it. Hello, Susan. Welcome. Susan is also in my Totally Techniques online club. So I was telling the girls earlier, Susan, that I will be filming the video and doing everything this weekend. And everything should go out on Monday for you girls. So yay. Yeah, so you should cut your pieces of paper a little longer or a little wider than you actually want them to be, because then you can fiddle around with them and get them where you want them to be. So I find that to be helpful information for y'all. Okay, so then the stamp set comes with a bunch of fun sentiments. So we're going to use the one that says, "Thinking of you makes my day." All right, so here it is. So what I want to do with it is I want it to follow along, you know, the flow of what I've got here. So this is how it's going to go. I've got it face down on my block. So it's going to go through the bump. But I need to kind of bend it a little bit. And that is the beauty of photopolymer stamps, is you can kind of bend them. So like I said, I've got this upside down on my block. So I can kind of stick it to my block where I want it to be, and then I'm going to bring in another block, and then I'm going to pick it up. Okay, so I've just picked it up. So now I'm going to check again, is that the way I want it to go? And I think the answer is yes. So when I didn't bend it too much, just a little. Hello, Vicky, how are you? Good to see you today. All right, so I'm going to ink that up gently. Try not to get a bunch of ink on the block, which I always do. And then we're just going to follow our little hill here. Yay! Check it out. Isn't that cute? That just makes me really happy. All right. So now we can go ahead and attach this to our little layer of, what do you call it? Pear Pizzazz. And while I'm adding adhesive, I'm going to add adhesive to, oh, look at that. That's some fun Christmas, some holly berries and some garland. So that's on the other side. So yeah, this set's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. I'm excited to start using it and showing you. And I am, like I said, going to have an online class with it. I'm also going to, I believe it's going to be my gift with purchase for the month. I will have some additional ideas for you. They won't have videos, but they will have written instructions. Okay, so we have that layer on that. We're going to add this to our Pear Pizzazz. And again, I'm just going to have a little tiny border. There's about 1/8 of an inch total, so we're only getting about a 1/16 or so. All right, so then that is going to go on here. And I'm going to use some dimensionals, I do believe, to pop that up. Whoops, I am throwing dimensionals around here. Come back, you little dimensional. Okay. Vicky says she likes the paper that goes with this bundle. Yes, it is really fun paper. Okay, make sure I'm putting this on, not upside down. And this is probably the hardest part of this entire card, is getting this part centered. We're going to hope that it's decent. I think that looks okay. All right, so then, guys, I thought, how cute would that be? Well, someone just flushed the toilet upstairs, so sorry about that. If I use the Stitched Leaves dies here, I thought that would be kind of fun, and got myself some leaves to decorate this. And then I thought to myself, well, the whole thing came from, what colors am I going to use? Well, let me just show you. You might remember maybe a couple months ago, I made this gorgeous card using the Love of Leaves stamp set. And this was my color combination: Pear Pizzazz, Rococo Rose, Coastal Cabana, and Crumb Cake. Well, I've got Sahara Sand instead, which is a very close color to Crumb Cake. It's not exact by any means, but it's a neutral, and I think it looks good. So these are the colors. That's how I picked my colors. Okay. So sometimes you guys, you know, how do you come up with color combinations? Well, sometimes I just cheat and use other color combinations that I've already used recently and just make a different card with them, and then they're completely different. So that's what I did. So I've got some leaves cut out. Whoops, this one I didn't end up wanting because it was too big. But so I used the dies and I got myself some leaves, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put some leaves on here. Whoops, do I have another one? No, because that one's kind of going the same way. So I was thinking I might do something kind of like this, right over there on the corner, or right on the edge, I guess. Try not to cover up my thinking of you. And maybe we would turn that. So I didn't exactly finish the card. I do that a lot. I'll just kind of throw things out there and then kind of figure out, oh, what do I want to do? But I think that I like this. So I am going to go ahead and adhere these little things. Add some seal to the back of these little leaves. So I thought I would put the Pear Pizzazz one on the card. Have the Coastal Cabana one kind of hanging off the edge a bit. And then we will have our Rococo Rose right here. But there's more, because I also have these little sprigs come in. What do I do with it? Well, the Curvy dies. Oh, here we go. So it's this little sprig right in here. And so I cut those, I cut a few of them out of just vellum, because vellum is a very interesting paper and it adds some good interest to things. So I don't need this to be that long, so I just ripped it off. And so I'm going to add this with a glue dot. So I actually might roll it up. There we go. And I'll just kind of tuck that under. And this one, I thought we would tuck under that. Again, I don't need the whole thing, so I'm going to tear some of it off. And roll that dot. Ooh, what if we actually did like that? That's kind of fun. There we go. I like it. I like it. I like it. And then this last one, I think we'll have come sticking out of this here. Again, don't need the whole thing. So we'll just rip it off. And there we go. Ugh, I do not have any fingernails, as I'm sure you can see. So I'm going to tuck that one underneath. Ooh, that is fun. All right, so then we had a little bit of interest by having those little vellum flowers or leaf sprigs come out. And then the last thing I wanted to add was some bling, of course. And one of my favorite blings right now are these wonderful gems. Now this package is almost gone, but there's red and clear. Actually, I have some more because I love them that much. So the red and clear, and then within each gem is like some gold glitter. And I know that you can't really see it very well on the red, but it's there. But these clear ones, you really can see. And so when I was kind of messing around with my cards today, figuring out, you know, where do I want to place everything? What I do a lot of the times is I will cut these little guys off of their sheets, but leave the plastic so that I can actually like lay them on my project just to see if I like it without actually having them stick. So I do that a lot. So I kind of had these, I was messing around with them, you know, putting them here, putting them there. And that's what I think we're going to do. So now I'll just take your pick tool and we'll pick them off of these little pieces of plastic. Hopefully I didn't give myself some struggles here. And I had no idea exactly where I was going to put them. Actually, I might be able to pick it off with my, I have a tiny sort of nail here. Yeah, this may have been a bad idea. Again, like I said in the beginning of the show, you want to come here to learn what not to do. So there you go. Okay, oh, this one, maybe I'm going to move it. If I can get it off there without tearing the paper, I'm going to move it. Yeah, I'm going to put it over here instead. Okay, so isn't that fun? I love it. And then I also wanted to add some things to the inside. So I thought maybe I could take some of these extra leaves and just, you know, throw them in there and then trim off the excess. I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to decorate the inside of your card. People don't always expect that when they open up a card to have it decorated on the inside. And I don't always do it. I'm not going to lie. I always want to do it, but it doesn't always happen. So there you go. Okay, where's my scissors? Hello, scissors. Where are you? Oh, underneath my ink pad. So I'm going to trim those ends off. And this little side here. Okay, so we have the front, and then we open it up when we have some fun leaves on the inside, and so there we go. So I am going to leave that right there while I clean up my mess. Oh, and here's another card I made, basically the same. Oh, my daisy got messed up. Anyways, it's the same card, but I used the daisy and the striped paper instead. So there you have it. Clean off my stamp. Use my little chamois here. Okay. Get rid of those. Get all these bits out of the way. That I can use for something else. Okay. So we will move on. I will put these aside. And then we'll get out the stuff for our next project. Okay. So this one is kind of an interesting card. I am in a swap with some other gals, and the swap is to make, well, let me just show you. I was gifted this amazing piece of art by a fellow demonstrator, Donna Gowan. She, my mom passed away last December, and after that, Donna must have seen me on Facebook Live, heard me talking about it, and she, bless her heart, created this amazing piece of art for me. It's in a shadow box. You can see the shadow box and the whole thing, and I love it. It's down here in my stamp room. I look at it every single day, so thank you so much, Donna. You are an amazing human being. So one of the gals that I know decided she wanted to do one of these kind of things, but for Christmas. So I agreed to do the swap. So what we're all doing is we're actually making 9 little pieces that are all the same size. So I can take this beautiful piece of art that Donna made, and I can take it out and I can replace it with something else for the holidays. And that's my plan. So thank you again, Donna. I really appreciate that. So the swap is we each make a little card. Like here's one I just got in the mail the other day from Becky. So we each make, and we have to have red as our first layer, white as our next layer, and then we can do whatever we want with the rest of it. So we're going to end up with 9. I'm going to end up with 9 of these little things. Myself plus 8 I'm going to get in the mail. That is one of them that I've received so far, and here's another one. So I'm going to be able to make my own Christmas one. So I'm super excited about that. So I created, this is mine. Okay. So these are the ones I have so far. So that's the one that I made. So I mailed all those out to everyone today. And so I actually made a couple extras because I thought, you know, I liked it. It was cute. And I thought maybe I could do something else with it. So we are going to use one of these to make a card. So that's what we're doing today. I actually have 4 of them. I got a little carried away just because I loved them. I loved making them so much. I thought they were so fun that I have 4. So we're going to make another one. Then I'll have 5. But I'm going to put it on a card this time. So let's make another one. All right. So I'm using the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. This is one of the papers that is on sale this month. And it's got some super fun patterns in it. I love this paper. They're not all for Christmas. I mean, the greens maybe they all are. They do have a Christmas theme to them, except maybe this one and this one you could probably use for something else. But anywho, these are the papers that I'm using. And I used our stitched triangle dies. I used the 2, I think these are called isosceles triangles, if I remember from math. And I used these 2 that are in the center here. So they'd be like the 3rd and 4th from the center out, or the 3rd and the 4th from the center in. What side is the white? The white one is 2.5 by 2.5, Lisa. And the red is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. So I went ahead and cut myself some trees out of the Designer Series paper. So I have this one here, this cute little plaid, and then this one here that is that what I wanted to do? Yeah, it is. The dotted mossy meadow. So I have my 2 5/8 by 2 5/8 red, my 2.5 by 2.5 white that I did run through one of the wrapped in texture embossing folders. Super cute. I have a layer or card base of Mossy Meadow that's 8.5 by 5.5, and then I have a 1/2 inch scrap for my sentiment. So you can see what we're going to do, but I'm going to show you a little trick, because look at this. This is the large tree, but oh my, it's too big. And look at this one. Oh, well, that one worked out good. But like on this particular one here, I actually cut them in half. Nobody cares, but that's what I did. So here we go. We are first going to add our seal adhesive to the 2.5 by 2.5 layer. And we're going to put it on here. There's just going to be a very tiny border. Oh, whoops. I can see that my paper cutter, my paper trimmer blade is getting a little bit dull. So it's making some weird ends. So I'm going to put this on here, and it looks like I may have cut... no, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got that. Oops, sorry, I just shook the whole business here. All right, so then this is how I did this. I put a tiny bit of adhesive. Oops, my glue is not cooperating these days. Just a little bit at the bottom. And I put it almost at the bottom of the white. Okay. And clearly, like I said, it's too big. Okay. And then this little guy, I'm going to do the same thing on, add some glue to the bottom, and then put it just a little bit above the bottom of this tree. Like that. Okay. So then, like I said, this is too big, so I'm going to cut that off. There we go. And then I did actually cut this one off too. And then this one, I am now going to add adhesive to. And I'm going to shove it down. That's why I only put glue at the very bottom. So I could shove this down there, and actually it's still a little bit too long. So we're going to cut that off again. And even though it looks a little wonky here, it looks fine when you cover it up with your sentiment piece. So it'll be good. Okay. And then this little guy, I wanted this to be a little bigger. So I'm going to put it on, but I'm going to extend it up just a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. Now, here is my little sentiment piece, and I have my sentiment. So I'm actually using the tree angle stamp set. So we are going to stamp these in the inside of the card, but I'm going to use the Christmas is Best when we're together. Which I think is quite appropriate for these days. I mean, a lot of people are not going to get to be with their families for Christmas. I mean, I'm not going to get to see my brother. Him and his wife have her 95 or 96-year-old mom living with them. And, you know, they're not about to take any chances with her getting ill. So they really don't go anywhere. Evelyn, I used one of the Wrapped in Texture embossing folders. Okay. So then I'm going to add some glue to the back of this little guy, and I'm going to cover up all the mess. So now nobody would even know. Oh, hold on. This is a little crooked. Oh, if only I wasn't so anal. But I am. It is what it is. Can't help it. Okay, so then I'm going to cover up the, whoops, that just moved on me. Stop it. Okay, there. I got a little bit off topic there when I was trying to get my glue to... Anyway, so anyways, I'm not going to be able to see my brother. Normally every Christmas, he would fly to Billings, Montana, pick up my mom, and come down here, and we would all spend Christmas together. And I look forward to it every year, and sadly, we will not be able to do that this year, but it is what it is. Okay, so there's my little piece. So now I can't decide if I want to take some of these cute little stars from all the trimmings embellishments and put them on the top of the tree. Is anybody asking any questions what size I got? Lisa's question about the thing. Okay. Or we have these amazing star dies. They are called the Stitched Stars. And I did discover that this little tiny die right here, if you happen to have these, will cut out a little baby star that's just tiny, or this little star spray, I guess you'd want to call it. This star that's inside here and this one, they make a little bit bigger star. So if you have these dies, you can make stars for these Christmas trees. If you don't, if you have other stars, whatever, or you could use these little guys here. For my little piece that I traded with everyone, I did the stars because they were a little bit bigger. And they just kind of fit perfectly. So let me see what this looks like. I think it's going to be too small, but we'll check it out. So here is one. Again, I cut that plastic piece out. Yeah, you just can't really even see it up there, I don't think. It's too small. Not going to do it. We're going to use the stars that I already cut out. So I'm going to grab 2 of these bigger ones out of here. And then I'm just going to put a little tiny dot of glue at the top of both trees. And then we're just going to add our little gold star. Isn't that fun? Yes, because I was really trying to figure out what could I use to put the stars on the top of these trees. And then I remembered that I had just gotten the stars dies. So I was pretty excited when I realized that I had those and that there was some tiny stars in there that were going to work perfectly for this project. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on that. And we're going to do some decorating on the inside. But oh, yes, I do. Close that up. You guys know how I am. Pam's not on here today to remind me to close that. Oh, which reminds me, I think Pam, if you watch this replay, Pam, I'm thinking about you. She lost her daughter here recently, which is very sad. All right, so we are going to do a little tiny stamping down here in the corner of this layer. So I have one of the trees from the tree angle set. I'm using this little guy right here, and we're going to use this tree trunk and this little star. So we're going to, I think we'll ink this up first. I have a trick for you guys. This is what I discovered this morning. So looking at these 2 trees right here, or 2 triangles, whatever, this little tiny asterisk up here and this little tiny triangle, if you're going to stamp your star on them, on the paper, they're in the way, basically. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of tape just over that little asterisk so that it doesn't get ink on it. And then I'm going to ink up the rest of the tree. And this is Mossy Meadow. Okay, and then I'm going to remove the tape. And then I'm going to stamp my tree. Okay. And you can see that now I don't have my little asterisk up there, which is good because I don't want it. And I'll show you on a scratch piece of paper what I mean and how it gets in the way. I've got my little star. This is Bumblebee ink that I am going to use to stamp my star on the top. And then I have some soft suede to stamp my tree trunk. Oh, that's a mess. Okay. We are going to stamp this, and then we're going to clean that off. Okay, so there's that. Where's my stamping, whatever this is? All of a sudden, oh, my chamois. All of a sudden I forgot what the heck it's called. The Stampin' Chamois. Okay. So, I was going to show you what would happen if where's my tree? Well, here, I can show you right here. This was a sample I was working on earlier. So here's the tree stamped without or with the asterisk. And you can totally see that your star, to what I feel like is at the top of the tree, that little asterisk gets in the way. Same thing on this little triangle over here. But if you stamp that red tree without the triangle, then your star can be the top of the tree. So there's a little trick for you if you're actually going to put the star on. Cover that up with a piece of tape before you ink it up. And then you'll have very good luck. Okay. So we have our little fun, the inside. And we're going to add that to the inside. And then we will finish the card. And then we'll go on to my last card, which is, of course, amazing. All right, so we're just gonna line that up on the 3 sides, like I always talk about, the bottom and the 2 sides, because if it's not lined up on the inside, it doesn't make any difference because nobody's going to be able to tell as long as you have these 3 sides lined up, you're good. Okay, then I have a piece of this really pretty, what's it actually called? I never can remember. Diagonal stripe ribbon, and this is in the Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to bring it from the inside of the card to the outside of the card. And I've got to figure out where I want to put this. Maybe about like that. So we're going to use a piece of tape to attach that. And then we're going to bring some to the front here, snip that off, and use another piece of tape. Come back. So we want to get it nice and straight and even and a little bit taut so that it doesn't flop around. So there we go. And then we can just put that over the top, and oh, isn't that just cute? So yeah, there's a way I can use up my extra, my little extra things that I made. Ugh, can't get that off my finger. Okay, so we will get rid of all of these. And you know, honestly, any of these would probably look adorable here. So like here's this one, because the paper has Mossy Meadow in it. So I think any of them would look really cute. So since these are all done, all I literally have to do is just fold a piece of cardstock in half and throw these on. Yeah, those are cute. I am pretty happy with myself. You know, I don't always love everything I make, but I really like this. This is cute. Okay, so easy, cute. There you go. All right, let's move on to our next project, our final project of the evening. I think I heard my daughter upstairs, so yay, I'm excited. Okay, let me clean those off, just because we all know if I don't, a mess will be made, and I don't want that. All right, so let me throw the rest of these little bits on the floor. Get my last bucket of stuff, move that out of the way, and here we go. A label and the word joy stamped or cropped out of silver foil sheets. So this little label here comes out of the Hippo and Friends die set. Now, I honestly only wanted these dies. I didn't necessarily want the stamp set. I did get the stamp set with the dies just because it's a bundle and you get 10% off when you buy our bundles. So I did do that, but I literally never use the stamps, but I use these labels a lot. So there you go. So that's where that came from. My joy out of my silver foil came from this really fun set of dies and stamps called the Peace and Joy bundle. And so what is fun is that you can stamp this word joy, and then this little die can go over the top. Now it's not exactly the same size. I'll show you when we stamp it. But then you can also, there is a large joy that you can cut out of a piece of cardstock and put under that. Do I have something to show what that is? That's not it. Ooh, yes I do. Hold on. Oh, no I don't. Never mind, I don't. But it's cool, trust me. So anywho, that's what we're going to do. So we've got the joy. I've got a piece of balmy blue cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to fold that in half and into bone folder. There we go. I have two pieces of white cardstock. Ugh, get out of the way. And these are very similar in size. This one is 3 3/8 by 4 5/8, I think. Yes, 3 3/8, 4 5/8, 3.5, 4 3/4. Okay. Ooh, Sue Thomas shared this to a group. Thank you so much, Sue. So these are going to layer on top of each other, but not yet. So then I have a piece of our first Frost Designer Series paper. It feels like frost, excuse me. And this paper is so amazing. It has the silver accents on one side, silver and white. And then the other side is beautiful. I think these were actually taken, they're like photographs. And then they turned them into Designer Series paper. So this is the back side. And this is a carryover paper from last year. And I still have a bunch of it left because I actually ended up ordering 2 packages last year. So I have combined them and used a bunch, and this is what I have left. So I chose this pattern here, but I don't want it white. I wanted to color it. So that's what we're going to do. So I have some adhesive stuck on this piece of paper. So I am going to stick that down. And then I'm going to use one of our sponge brayers. You can purchase our sponge brayers. I don't think they're very expensive, like $12 or something like that. Maybe, don't quote me because I'm not positive. But then you get a few of these little roller heads. And what I do with them is, like, I've used Balmy Blue, so I'll just rinse this out when I'm done. Let it dry, and it'll be mostly clean. I haven't noticed that there's any residual ink when I go to use it on another color, as long as I use, so like if I use it on black, obviously I would kind of keep that for dark colors like black, Night of Navy, Cherry Cobbler. But since this is a light color, I can rinse it out and use it again on any color I want. Or you could buy a whole bunch of them and have one for every color that we have. There you go. So we're going to take our ink pad, and I'm going to get this inky. Now when I do this, I roll it across the whole pad, and I pick it up and I bring it to the beginning and start again. You don't want to do this, because if you do this, you're only inking about half of this roller, if even that. So you want to make sure you're making complete passes. Okay. Then we're just going to lightly start rolling this ink along the paper. And then we can get a little more aggressive with it. And of course, we're going to keep inking it up. And we're going to just keep adding more ink until it's as dark as we want it to be. I always find this very fun to change designer series papers. And this one is really pretty because these snowflakes are still going to be silver, because the ink will not stick onto the $8 for sponge braiders. Even better, Carol, thank you. The ink is not going to stick to the silver. Okay, so I'm only getting ink really on the white. So then what I would do is I would take some Kleenex, and then I would just kind of wipe off, because basically all I'm doing now is getting the ink off of the silver parts, because that's not going to dry on there. So get that off, throw that in the trash, and then gently get your piece of paper off of your adhesive and get rid of it. Okay, so now we're going to cut this. So my smallest layer was 4 5/8, so I'm going to trim this down to 4 5/8. I could have just cut it to 4 5/8 in the beginning. I didn't, but actually I think I'm going to cut that end off. This gives me the option to cut off whatever end I want. Then, because this is 3 by 6, the papers come 3 by 6 pieces, or 6 by 6 pieces. So now I'm going to cut this at 2 inches. So I've got a 2-inch piece and a 1-inch piece. Okay. So there we go. This I don't need. I can use it on something else if I can think of something else to use it on. While I have my ink out, I am going to stamp on my label. So I'm going to stamp the word joy. That comes from the stamp set. And I'm also going to stamp "and Merry Christmas." Okay. So we'll first go with joy. And kind of up here at the top of the label, I think, like that. Okay. Then I need a scrap. I save all these little tiny strips because whenever I cut my Whisper White, I always end up with like 1/2-inch strips, and I just keep them in a bag because then I can use it for things like this. All right, so we have our and Christmas and Merry. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to trim them out, so it doesn't matter if they're upside down. Whoops, I just stuck my finger in that. Haha, of course I did. Okay, so we're going to move the stamps out of the way so I don't, you know, get ink all over everything, because that's kind of how I roll. All right, so we have the joy here, and I do have my little joy that I cut out of silver foil. So I'm going to add a bit of liquid glue to this. I'm going to try to get the glue booger off the end so it doesn't stick, and I'm going to start squeezing it. And if I get a whole bunch in this little area, then I'm going to use the nozzle to spread it around so that I don't have too much in there that's going to make a mess. Okay. And then we're going to take this and we're going to put this right over this joy here. So I'm going to cover up the joy all the way to the end and stick that down. So now you can just see the little bit of the blue underneath there, which is really fun. Then I am going to snip these out, and since they're basically all just straight snips, I mean, it's not going to take too long at all to get them done. There we go. And we've got Christmas here. I'm trying to leave a tiny bit of a white border. Why? I don't know. Just because that's what I'm doing. So have you guys started your Christmas cards yet? Anyone? I typically don't, because I make so many Christmas cards over the course of Christmas for, to show you guys. Those are usually the ones that I make. Plus I do lots of swaps at the beginning of a catalog, and I get a lot of cards that way too. So I am fortunate that some of my cards are already done. I do have to make a few, but not nearly as many as I would, at one time, since I'm constantly making Christmas cards anyway. I'm using mini dimensionals here, and I'm putting them on the back. Whoops, put that over, you little stinker. There we go. Okay, so then we can just peel off the backings of these, and we will just make a little scene. Ooh, actually, we're not going to do that yet, because then I was practicing. I needed to wait. So anyways, okay, so we have our 2 pieces of paper here. So we're going to attach them to the card with my seal. How do I want to do that? I'll do it like this. Whoops, I must have buggered that up the last time. Okay. So this is going to go right on the edge of the whole thing, the layers on the edges. And then this little piece is going to go at the bottom. So I'll get some more on that. This little guy can go down here. Okay. And now we have this beautiful white in the center. Guess how big it is? It's 3/8 of an inch. So guess what? This ribbon's going to go in there perfectly. I did this on purpose because I wanted to use this ribbon because I thought it would work perfectly with it, because it's gorgeous. It's white and it's silver, which totally goes with my whole card. And it's 3/8 of an inch wide. But if you try to put it on top of something that's a little bit dark, sometimes you can see through it. And if you put it on white, it really pops white. And that's what I wanted. So I'm going to do that, in my tape. Okay, we're going to flip that to the back, and we're going to tape that. And then I'm going to use some, I could have used seal, but I just happen to have this liquid glue sitting here. So now we're going to attach that to this layer. And there's only a tiny bit, again, just enough to make this layer pop with the balmy blue card base in the back. Okay, so we'll do that. Bring in some dimensionals, because why not? Everything is better when it's got dimensionals on it. So dimensionals are one of those things that I usually have about 6 or 7 packages in my cupboard, because you just never know. I wouldn't want to run out. All right, so then we're going to center this. We're going to try to center it. There we go. Then we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. We're going to go one at the top, one at the bottom. I think that's plenty. And we're going to straddle this ribbon. Put it kind of at the bottom of the label there. Okay, now I can bring in my Merry Christmas so that they're kind of straight. The first time I made the card and I kind of put them on, they were a little bit wonky. And, I can't handle that, so there you go. I want them a tiny bit wonky, but I don't want them so crooked that, you're like craning your neck to look at them. And then Christmas. Whoops, I think I'm going to move this one over. Am I going to be able to? Nope. Well, it is what it is, and it's going to have to work. So we have that. Our last thing is we're going to add some of these gorgeous blue adhesive back gems. These are so pretty, and I feel like the dark ones kind of go with Night of Navy and what's that other color? Pacific Point. And then these lighter ones go, I feel like, with the balmy blue. So we're going to just add some of these on to the card because they're gorgeous and they just sparkle so much. Okay, so there it is. Isn't that fun, coloring that paper? Well, I think it's fun. You guys might not think it's fun, but I think it's fun. So we're done with the cards. If you want to order, I would love your orders at shoppingwithbarb.com. Of course, here's my host code for October. We'll bring the rest of the cards back in, kind of clear a little space here so we don't have a bunch of mess staring at us. Here is our fun little Christmas. And then here is my fun little leaf card. So there they all are. Thanks again, you guys, for tuning in. You know, I appreciate that so much. I hope you all have a wonderful week and a happy Halloween, whatever you're doing. And I don't know if I'll be back here next Thursday. I highly doubt it because the first day of our on stage event is next Thursday, and it starts at 5:30 my time. So that's like right in the middle of my Facebook Live. So I'm not going to be live next week. Sometimes I may change the date. I may not. If I do, I'll let you guys know on my Facebook page. But I'm probably not going to be live next week. So everybody have a great week, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.